Dearest loves, welcome to Guided Journaling. This month, I'm recording this in the midst of eclipse season. And what I'm noticing coming up in me is a desire, a deep desire for a deep breath, um, groundedness, and slowness, a desire for simplicity, as in keeping things simple. And in honor of that, I would like to provide a grounding meditation. And then I have some popcorn questions and a journaling question. And I will end with a tarot card. There won't be an extension this time around, just because I feel like the best of my energy will be served in this first 20 minutes to a half hour. So I thank you for letting me show up as I am. This eclipse season is bringing us the polarity of Virgo and Pisces. We had a Pisces lunar eclipse, and then we are going to have a Virgo new moon at the beginning and the end of this month. So we're capped by that new moon, those new moons. And essentially what this is asking us is, where are we moving through like a reorganization? What are the things that no longer serve that part of us? And on the flip side, where are we almost needing to not try to put things in such a neat little order and just trust and kind of surrender to the process, which is the Pisces energy? So as we're kind of being pulled this month between those polarities, that is why I think I'm sensing that desire for groundedness and stillness and a deep breath. So I offer you this practice to help all of us kind of move into that space together. Close your eyes and get yourself comfortable in your seat. And I invite you to take a look at what is currently arising in you and stick with sensations in the body or feelings. So right now I notice that my heart is beating quickly. I'm not going to go into any story around why that might be. I'm just going to sit with the fact that my heart is beating quickly. As things start to arise and you acknowledge them, feel free to place a hand on that part of you to provide that sensation some warmth and some deeper acknowledgement. And go ahead and take an inhale and an exhale. What noises are you sensing in your space? If you have any judgments arise about those noises, just let them pass. Take another deep inhale through the nose and exhale. Now I want you to take your hands and kind of rub your arms, rub your chest, rub your core, rub your legs, even kind of tap your head a little bit. Give it a little scalp massage. Take a deep inhale and an exhale. And notice the sensations that have arisen from your touch. And then slowly open your eyes. Do a little scan of your environment as you come back here with me. Go ahead and grab your journals. And if that meditation at all made you extra sleepy, you can do a little bit of some tapping. Just kind of wake yourself up a little bit. Maybe shake your body. The first popcorn questions for those who are new here are kind of rapid fire. They're meant for going with gut reaction answers. So stick to like 1 to 3 words, 1 to 5 words, short, imagery or whatever it is that comes to mind when you hear these questions. And I'm going to go fairly quickly. The first question is, what's the current state of my body? Question 2. What feeling or image comes to mind when I think of the word order or organization? What feeling or image comes to mind when you think of order or organization? Question number 3. What comes up first when I imagine surrendering my ego? What comes up first when I imagine surrendering my ego? Question 4. What arises when I tell myself, just take one small step? You can also look at this question as, what arises if I tell you that? Just take one small step. What arises in you? Go ahead and find a place to stop. My intention for popcorn questions is that if you have something that arises that you want to explore further, you now have 4 questions that you can kind of work through at your own pace, um, expand on, ask others. All right, the deeper journaling question, and I'll give about 3 minutes for this one. What edge have I dulled to avoid my own evolution? What edge have I dulled to avoid my own evolution? As we move through eclipse season, we're moving through a portal, a chat into a next chapter. This is often what happens. Something is closing and something is opening, and we're moving through it. We are at the threshold. And that is what I imagine with this question, kind of considering what it is that you can tell you're up against and not quite sure whether that you want to step into that part of your evolution. So what's kind of what's dulled and you want to sharpen? You have about another minute. Take about 20 more seconds to wrap up your thoughts. I invite you to take that question and sort of be with it the next few days, or maybe throughout the remainder of eclipse season. And I do wonder what would come up in discussion with friends. So I encourage using it as a little conversation tool to just sort of say, what does this make you think of? Or even to share what edge you think you've dulled and see how you can kind of help each other along on your journeys. Lastly, to finish up our time together, I want to pull a card for eclipse season. I think I'm going to go with that. Okay. I pulled 7 of Cards reversed. This is interesting and actually feels like eclipses season just in general. There's kind of this like desire for clarity, desire for direction. desire to be like past delusions and things like that, but sometimes during eclipse season, things get a little messy. So I think the message of this is sort of like reality is coming out of this. There's like clarity is arising. We're getting there, but it's like with cups upside down like that, you know, the waters are kind of spilling all over the place. Our emotions, perhaps our relationships are, or maybe even creativity is bubbling, like that kind of thing. And as we move through this, there will be like an upright of this, and our containers will be able to hold, reality again, where right now it's a little like, what's happening? So hang out in the what's happening, because sometimes you just gotta, because it just is. All right. Much love. Thank you for being here with me. Love doing these each month. And I look forward to seeing you next month.